Because
what is it in the human nature, though, that drives us to want more than we need? Because even when we talk about, food stamps and government aid, but we also kind of talked about and touched on child support or spousal support. Who was that? We talked
Dr.
about
Dre.
Dr. Dre and so what does she want? $9 million?
$2 million.
It don't matter.
A month?
A month.
That's ridiculous.
What you need $2 million a month
Okay,
for?
so we making a switch to the different type of aid assistance, and that's spousal support and child support.
Well, we shifted only in the sense, because my question is, something in us, though, talking about scammers when it comes to government assistance, but something in us desires more than we need. That's why you scam the government. And that's why
everybody applied for that $10,000 grant. No, you ain't got no business. Now,
you ain't had no business
when they have to start paying them back or whatever, they're gonna be crying the victim. But everybody.
Oh, let me tell you something. If y'all took that money and you ain't got no business, trust me, Sam gonna come for you when all COVID settle. Yeah.
They don't, because when they start, whoever we done borrowed the money from, we gonna have to pay back.
Oh, we ain't borrowed. They just printed some more. It's print machine. They turn the printer on.
Yeah, okay. Well, I feel like as far as the whole assistance thing, or why do we want more than, I think it's because you want the security of having that extra. I think that's just how we are designed to want more. There's never enough. The more money you make, the more bills you acquire. You create more places for that money to go. It's a proven fact. More money, more problems, period. But I feel like the aid with the whole spousal support and child support.
$2 million a month.
Okay, so
I think 20,000 of that was for email, phone bills, and
900,000 of it was for entertainment.
What movie are you going
to? Is Beyonce coming to perform a full concert for you?
Let's be very clear that these are regular people talking about rich people problems. We don't know what it means
to be rich people problems.
Yeah, these are rich people things. For her to even make that case. First of all, I feel like, let's be clear, she did that because she was mad at him, not because she really thought that they was gonna give her I'm pissed. Whatever he did to get them to the point, whatever she did, whatever happened with them.
But even if you take that off the table, even when Jeff Bezos got divorced, and I'm probably y'all gonna be mad, but if spouse one creates something, and them and spouse two break up, spouse two don't need half of whatever, and that could be male or female. So even because one of the millionaire women got divorced, and
I agree.
Was it Janet Jackson ex or Jennifer Lopez? One of them. Somebody divorced a dude, and dude was coming for money, and it's like
Britney Spears.
You didn't do nothing. What you need half of that for? Because you got used to living in a big house?
Yes.
It's about the lifestyle. And to be honest, most judges will side with them for that reason alone. But I don't think they give them half. They give them enough to sustain that level of lifestyle that they're used to. But I don't think you deserve half of what I have because I built this. You didn't. Yeah. You've been my wife. We raised a family.
Support. The idea of support is completely.
No. Okay. I think that. Okay. When you think about marriage, right? And I agree. If somebody comes into a marriage and they are already a billionaire, that's one thing, right?
Okay.
If you come into the marriage with a great idea, you're doing well, but you haven't amassed the level of wealth that Jeff Bezos had amassed over time.
Yeah.
I do think that even though you're the working one, that your spouse, the way that we view marriage and the way that our concept of it is that she is contributing something to the family and the wealth that the family is able to acquire. you having 4 kids and not having to worry about them is giving you time and energy and the ability to work.
I'm not knocking the value in that particular case. I'm knocking the over and above. You got 4 kids, which is this hypothetical. We completely making this purpose.
But is marriage is everything a collective or no?
I think that depends on what marriage you're in. Some people it's not a collective. Some people are legally married roommates, and they got stuff split down the middle.
See, okay.
But my whole
but we
point
can't
is,
do that with marriage. I think it's a general idea.
If you got 4 children and you're divorced, those 4 children do not need millions per month.
He doesn't need millions per month, but he gets them. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
gets it because he built this. He worked for
right,
it.
and guess what?
And he's building a
because
future for his
you have
family.
children, they get to live the life that you
And
would
they can
live.
continue to live that same life. But I think because you're so scorned by whatever has caused us to separate, you're trying to hurt me where you think it hurts, and that's in my pocket.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Tell us.
Marriage is that level of commitment. It is that. And what people want today is they don't want that. They like even this conversation, this idea that somehow when you split, you don't need all of that, but you do. No, when you decide to marry somebody, you're making that commitment that what you make, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is yours. So when you break up, it is difficult, and it is a whole lot of like, nah, now this goes here and this goes there. It's supposed to be complicated. It's marriage.
You married.
Yeah.
And you a multi-millionaire, billion. Let's say you're a billionaire, black billionaire sister. Mm-hmm. You get divorced. Homeboy say he want $30 million a month. You have no qualms handing that to him.
No, because if I am successful and I'm a multimillionaire, I'm not getting married. Period. It's really that simple.
Wait. Okay, this is about to be. We're sorry, y'all. Rabbit hole. Paul Squirrel. First, like, what are you talking about? You wealthy? You're not gonna get married?
Oprah Winfrey got the right idea. The problem is you don't want to have to share that, but that's what marriage is. You don't get to go into it to get what you want, and then when it ends, which is not the plan, but when it does end, you don't get to sneak out of the hard part. Yeah, now it's half. My God, that's what it is. And if you don't want to split it, don't get married. It's very simple. You're a very rich man, and you don't have to get married. Period. And if I was rich, now if I was just doing
this gotta be a whole nother episode.
If I was just doing well, I'd get married. But if I'm a millionaire, multimillionaire, I'm not getting married to somebody who's not also a millionaire.
So you just have a lifelong partner then?
Yeah. What's the point?
Stephanie.
What is the point?
I ain't even mad at that, but I'm just saying, I think it's a bit extreme to say that this lady should get $2 million. I'm not saying you're saying this, but to grant her $2 million a month to sustain the level of living that she had. They don't.
Like I said, I think that was her being angry. However, I do feel like, and I want to be clear because I feel like
that's spousal support, right? Not child support. Okay.
Right, it's with the spousal support, and I think that like, I don't like when men and women get divorced and the woman is the one with the money and she ends up having to pay men. I don't like that. I think that it's kind of lame. But
no, that's hypocritical of you to say that.
Oh, for sure it is. But guess what? Everybody gets their thing. And to me, I feel like
everybody gets their
I feel like everybody, I mean, yeah, because I feel like there are double standards everywhere. And women lose a lot, and sometimes men lose a lot. And this is where you guys get to lose. And it's cool. Y'all be all right. Period. That's how I feel about that. And I ain't even gonna argue back and forth about that. It is what it is. I don't think that men should get women's money. Kill me. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. And I feel like a man that sit up and that's where you got your money from.
Why can't a man get a woman's money?
But she can get his.
Yes, she can.
Why?
Double standard. I don't know. Ask the Lord.
The Lord ain't the one doing the spousal support.
In my mind, the man is the breadwinner. So now you shouldn't be coming and getting my money. I don't have to explain it. There don't need to be no reason to it.
Okay, let's shift there.
You know?
Okay, fine. We gonna end the whole.
She was like,
we gonna end the spousal support segment there.
I feel like that's like what you hear actually in court. I want what I want, a judge. I ain't got to explain it.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff that women have to like. I don't want to have the babies, but I have to, and it is what it is. Ain't
This
no
ain't no
discussion.
cumulative payback.
No, but what I'm saying is,
I get-
you
I get- I
win
get.
some and you lose some.
And this the one
Period.
you say we lost.
And so I feel like with this whole spousal support thing, I feel like if you
thinking about
don't
too
want to share your money, don't get married,
You
honey.
ain't get no $2 million.
It's that simple.
Well, what about this whole child support argument? Because
Oh Lord.
with child support, they be requesting all this extra money.
We have
And
no
same-
kids.
same
We have
thing
no
with-
kids.
But my thing-
our speculation is.
Men argue about child support like they're basketball players. You be so passionate about it like you got millions of dollars and you about to have to pay $20,000 a month in child support. Baby, your child support check be $200 to $400 a month.
But if he only bringing in $1,000, $800 to $1,000, which that could be a lot to him. And
that's a lot.
my whole thing is
Especially
it's
when the
based
kid
off your
don't-
income. And if you're an active parent in your child's life, you going to get them every weekend or every other weekend, whatever the court ruling is. I'm actively involved in my kids' life. I'm providing for them. I'm feeding them when they're there. I'm clothing them, and I'm giving you child support. But it's not enough, so you want more.
They don't get more that way. The only way they get more is if they go to the judge and can prove you make more and that more is necessary. They don't just get to up it on you. Now, to me, I think that the child support that people get, and I feel like it's so funny because it's almost like men think the child support should be specifically for like shoes, clothes,
It should.
It should.
It should.
It's not to pay your bills. You working, right? You pay your own bills. I'm paying my own bills in my house, so when my
Yeah,
kids come
but-
over, they got lights, they got
But if
heat.
your
and-
kid was at your house, now if you get your kid 2 days a week and I got the kid for 5, my light bill is higher than yours. I can guarantee you. My water bill is higher than yours. All of the bills in my house are higher than yours. I have to have a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom potentially because I got these kids. You can have a 1-bedroom when they come over. You do an air
Well,
mattress.
you decided
I
to
can't do that.
divorce me. You shouldn't have left
Well,
me.
you decided to have kids, and that's why your ass on child support, Nick.
Who decided? Both y'all decided.
Right.
Then it should be a percentage.
And there's the double standard. I'm the woman. I keep the kid and give me my child support.
If you got a 3-bedroom and you got 3 kids and only one of them is mine.
Well,
it-
you the
it
fool,
needs to
unless
be
you
a-
had the first kid. Now, if you got the 3rd kid, I don't want to hit that because you knew I had 2 kids before you. That'd be the other thing. It's like men.
No, ain't no. I knew. You're not
You
going.
knew?
I knew.
Yeah, you do. You knew just like women know that a man ain't take care of the 2 kids he got before he had one with you, and now you crying because he ain't taking care of yours. You knew. The evidence was there. The data was there. You didn't take heed to it, and now you looking stupid. Don't nobody want to hear you crying. And if you a man and you laid up and you had a kid with a woman who got 2 kids, don't be mad.
No,
you know
I'm going to
is.
be mad because you're an opportunist and you trying to take me for more money.
No,
to take
you
care,
were goofy and
to
you laid
take
down and
care
had
of
raw
your-
sex
to
with a
take
woman,
care of
and
your
now you
other
mad you
2
got to
kids.
take care of your
Both
kids.
of you
No.
decided in a moment to ignore all things around.
And so we both have to suffer the consequences.
You
that
have
we
to
know
suffer
are in
more because
place.
them your kids,
no,
not
no,
mine.
no,
I'm
no.
only paying for the one.
Give me my money. I don't care what you're doing. Let the court tell you what it costs and give it to me.
my
And I'm going to pay my bills.
No, because you trying to go party with your girls. You going
You
to
know
Vegas.
how expensive
You
it
going to
is.
Vegas. Them kids going to your mama house.
You giving me $250 a
Nah,
month talking about you going to Vegas.
and that's
Come
your
on
flight.
now.
That's for your
That's
flight.
Spirit and Circus. That's a whole trip right there.
Come on now. That's so funny to me. I feel like men don't realize that all that it takes to take care of a kid, all of those bills, everything, incidentals, things that come up.
Lindsay, no.
Insurance.
I don't think that's the gripe most fathers, at least the ones I've had conversation with, that's not their gripe. Their gripe is when they are when they are involved in the child's life and they are given money here and there that the judge and courts never really take into account because it's never brought up. Then mom is bringing them in every other time and then like I know one of our men even now is going through a whole little tussle and dude's a good father. And so for me, that's kind of the part where I'm starting to ask in terms of our judicial system and even the way our society has tainted some of our mothers and fathers to be like opportunists. Give me. You see opportunity. Like that's just
I agree
bogus.
with that. And I think that it really does suck. And I want to be clear, like I'm arguing for the woman, but I do think that obviously, because what's the point? If we all gonna agree. But I do think that when a man is a good father, I hate to hear about like women giving them a hard time or putting them through a bunch of stuff.
That's all
Like
I'm
that's just that's terrible. So I'm never okay with that. And I don't even like I don't even my mom never put my dad on child support. My dad was on child support for a few kids, but my mama never put him on child support, and she never kept him from seeing us. Like, even though he wasn't helping, she never got a dime from him, and she never required it. And I think that she could have been a mean woman and like kept him away from us. That would have devastated us as kids.
And
It
she
would have
understood
devastated
that.
me. Yes.
So she put the needs of y'all before her,
Right.
because she
And-
probably was like, "No, I ain't sending y'all over there. He gonna give me some money." But
she didn't. Now,
she's a rare one.
Yeah, but I feel like but I also feel like she was dumb a little bit, and not like love your mama, not like in that way. But I think that she struggled really, really bad, and like she went
But
through stuff that
she struggled, Lindsey, for your benefit.
Yeah, but she should have took him to court. We were the first kids, therefore we would have got the majority of the money. She didn't take him to court. We would have eaten up all of the money that was going to those other kids, because that's how it works. Like from the oldest to the youngest, the percentage changes. So we would have got the majority of that money, but my mom didn't want to create a more contentious relationship that would potentially make him not come around, not get us, or be upset. He probably just wouldn't have paid the child support. He probably wouldn't have not come around. But I feel like if a guy wants to be a good dad and wants to be there for the kid, I don't feel like women should use the kid as like a pawn in this game. I also, though, I think it's very important to say that men and women have to be more careful and more selective about the sex they have, the raw sex they have, and who they have kids with. We can all cry at the end, and there are situations where you were married or somebody switched, you were married, you got divorced, and like there are some scenarios, but there is a vast majority or a lot of people that are just out here having sex and having babies.
Yeah.
And then they're crying about this aspect of it or that. Like, honey, these are the consequences of your behavior, and that is what it is. You can't go
and the
out.
Unfortunate thing of that reality is that the kids are dealing with the consequences of those choices. That's the insane part about it.
But it's like, we can argue the man side and being like, oh God, this child support thing, and she's taking me to court and she's making, all of this stuff. But then there are a lot of women who the man gets to dip. Like, that's the consequence for the woman. Like, you gotta be there 100% emotionally, financially, physically, everything. Like, a man gets to go on about his life and go out and party, make more babies, go date a woman with a baby, be the stepdaddy, and the woman is stuck at home with the kids. And I think that is a part of the consequence that women have to think about.
Yes, to your point, it's about being more careful. Like, you see somebody that looks fine and look like they got some money, you ain't even thinking about a baby, but then it happens, and all of a sudden it goes left, and now you stuck.
Well, you gotta think about
I feel
it
like
that
when you get pregnant,
especially when
unless
it's
you
the street
married.
dudes, because you ain't getting no child support. You gonna take them to court for drug money?
right?
Now, like
Or
that
a
what?
scammer, not even a drug dealer. You a scammer. He don't have no real income that he can report to the IRS.
You
Right.
get you some fake Louis though.
But he a scammer, which means he can keep bringing in money and could be reporting that he at work. Like, all of that stuff. And women and men go out and they just living their life off of emotion. There's no logic, no reason, no thought. And then you want to cry for people to feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for men who go around having a bunch of babies. And I don't feel bad for women.
Nah. If you just going around laying your seed around town, then don't nobody feel bad. Who's you talking about that just had the kid, the fifth, sixth kid, seventh?
Future.
Future. Yeah.
Lil Boosie. Don't Boosie got like 9
Boosie got a
kids.
lot of kids. Boosie got a lot.
Like, there's no
of
way.
kids.
Like, to me, women that lay up, like it is baffling.
They see it as a come up though. Some of them baby mamas, they be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a baby intentionally."
For some it's a come up. Two, it is this reality we've created through social media and stuff where it's like, ooh, I laid up with so and so, girl. That, yeah, all right.
But that, like, to me, that's so juvenile. To think that, like, I even think it's ridiculous for couples who have hella kids. To me, just because
What's ridiculous? Them having a lot of kids?
Yeah. To me, okay, listen. I feel like just because you can financially support kids, it doesn't mean that you can afford them. Kids are not dogs. They're people. You are responsible for their emotional development.
They require
The way-
time, attention, and money.
And they drain it. They don't just require it. They need everything you got and then what you don't have. And even if you find a way to give them what you don't have, when they grow up, they're going to sit in the therapist's chair and tell the therapist something else you ain't give them.
It should be, you know what it's
They
equal to?
just leeches.
It's just like they did a study 15 years ago about pastoring. And basically, this is when mega churches was the boom. Everybody's on a mega church. And they concluded that one person can only effectively pastor maybe like 100 people. And so it's interesting when you consider that reality, but everybody wanted 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. And I think the same thing like you're saying with parenting. You have to be able to say, okay, yeah, the house can hold 20 kids, but can we parent effectively 20
No, because
kids?
9 times out of 10, that oldest is going to end up raising the third and fourth one. You
Yeah.
know, that's how
I
that
mean,
goes.
it's going to be.
That's true.
I mean, and I think that some people do maybe have the capacity, to do more. I feel like I know me. I think I got a good 2 kids,
But see, our generation
And then if I like one more,
yeah, now
so
our
be it.
generation,
I'm definitely gonna have a
my
favorite
grandmother had 17 kids.
Wow.
And they all turned out pretty decent as far as I can tell. Only 2 of them, robbed banks or something, but for the most part.
17 kids, I feel like the odds are against you. Wow. And I used to tell my daddy that he kept having kids. I said, honey, somebody gonna have a problem. I said, you playing with the odds here. Everybody came out and had all their fingers and toes, and everybody was all together. I said, you playing with fire.
Somebody
One of
gonna
these
have a
kids is gonna have some issues. He luckily,
That's a lot of
that's
kids.
debatable. Some,
I can't.
maybe
Yeah,
one of my brothers.
I can't.
is
That's,
crazy.
I don't know how many kids we got. I could probably do 2, maybe 3.
Here we are back at the kids topic.
We're sorry.
Yeah, I want 1 or 2, but I want to just take them to my mama's house and then.
Yeah, I
pick-
always think about dropping my
like-
kids off somewhere. I don't even have any kids. But I can't wait to have kids so I can drop them off somewhere.
Most people can't wait to have kids
And
so
run.
they can do Instagram posts, then drop them
Yeah,
off.
I just think that
Yep.
kids are so
Oh my
much.
God, first meal. Go to your grandma.
They just require
Your
so
grandma.
much, and I just feel like we have to have a little bit more thought about it. Or we just have to deal with the consequences. And sometimes, like with the child support thing, I understand, and I do think that it's unfair. I think that child support and just kids in general is one of those topics that are like, okay, there are double standards, or women are favored in this way. I mean, like even the idea of like, the kid is definitely the mama's. They're gonna favor for the kid to be with the mom.
We should do a kids show and bring parents on.
I think when you, this might be off the rails, but I think when you break up or get divorced or split and you got kids, I think it should be almost a requirement that you go to therapy as the adult. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to use your children as some bargaining tool to hurt the other one or vice versa. And then again, they grow up to become damaged, and then they just become a replica of you and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So
The kid need therapy, and so do the parents.
You know what, y'all? We're going to have an parents episode. And we're going to invite some of you that are parents to sit and have these conversations. And we're just going to sit and pretend to be the audience. And then we're just going to
Because
listen.
we don't have any kids.
we need y'all to be real too.
Yeah, because we don't have
We're
no
going
kids.
to call you out if you ain't.
Well, how we going to call them out? We ain't got no kids.
It don't matter. We know everything.
You might have kids by then, though.
Yeah,
The way you move.
that's true.
Well, not in a nasty way. He won't kids.
Yeah, it's a nasty way sometimes.
Oh,
No, it ain't.
okay.
Don't play that.
All right. Well, you ain't going to have gold Mickey Mouse next time because they're going to be taking you for your child support.
Right. Make sure
Somebody-
you have a kid by the right person.
One Mickey Mouse
That
is
is
500.
that is true. Make sure you have kids by the right person.
Yeah, I mean, people around here having kids, but then saying marriage is too much of a commitment. Are you kidding me? You could divorce your husband. You could divorce your wife. If kids are at play, that makes the divorce that much more difficult. And you're going to have to see they behind for the rest of your life. That's a lifelong commitment when you have kids. Marriage is not. It doesn't have to be.
One thing that I don't like though is when one thing
can leave.
one thing I don't like is when dudes
Kids get-
decide to just walk away and don't have any dealings with the child because of the relationship with the mom, but then now they're like 13, 14, 15, now you want to come back around and be a dad. But where were you all?
But I think part of that too is just it's maturity. You know, at a particular point in your life.
No, they know better. They just
No, I really don't. I think that's an assumption. I think you have some humans who mature at different places very much later in life, and they hit moments where it's like you know, I quote the Bible, but I also quote Jay-Z. Jay-Z, you know, said that you have moments of clarity, and it's like, dang, this is the damage this choice caused. And if a person can be honest in that moment, I think there is some salvation to come back and say to your kid, look, I effed up, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, if you 25, if you sometimes for men 30, and this person was your world, and they did this or whatever, and that, I ain't had nothing to do with you. But you hit 45, you see things differently.
that's because you're getting older. You don't want to be. You need some
No,
child to take care of you.
I do think it's a level of maturity, and I also
Let me
think
go
that
get
like
this baby. I'm getting old. I'm gonna need somebody to live with.
I feel like for men, not to say that women can't do that, but I do feel like I do think it's easier to disconnect for men because
we ain't had a baby.
right, you didn't carry the baby, and if you didn't love the woman, it's even easier. If you didn't have a relationship with that woman, like that's what ties you to the kid until you. I mean, like that relationship, that love, watching the process is what bonds you with a baby that you don't necessarily have in you, or you can't see, or you can't touch. So if you take the whole 9 months away, and you're not there at all through the pregnancy, you have no feelings or care about that woman, it's very easy for you to walk away. I mean, a lot easier.
It's a lot easier.
Because there is no real connection. And so I feel like we could think it's crazy, but I do think that, and if you put on top of there that you're scared, that you don't know what to do, that you know, all of those things, I think that you can really be out of sight, out of mind. And you can go a few years not thinking about it, and then eventually it's like, I got a whole kid.
I got a whole game. It's gonna hit you. You gotta wrestle with
somebody
that,
is me out here in this world, and I'm not there for them. So I do think that that's what ends up bringing you back. But
Well, this has been a very interesting conversation
that's the way he is.
as it relates to governmental assistance and child support and spousal support.
And support, period.
And life choices.
We
Put
hate
you in
people that need support.
We do. We hate y'all. No, we
I don't
don't.
know what that
Dang.
is. I think that we do end up like just disliking when people need help.
I think
But let's not go into
I
another.
think we get assistance fatigue. And people have been taken advantage of so much that by the time that
Yeah,
fourth person
the
come along,
scammers.
you be
That's
like,
good.
You know,
nah,
them
man,
scammers.
True,
can't
true,
fool
true.
you.
All right. Well,
All right, yeah.
That wraps up another interesting episode of 1320 Stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to everything social media. I don't know the tags. They're probably on the screen somewhere. See y'all next time.
Peace.